What's up, everybody? What it do? Welcome back to the channel. Dick Take the Day. I'm Dick, and we taking the day, y'all. All right, I've been working on this one for a hot minute, like hours of the day. I've been trying to, curate some videos about this craziness that has entered our zeitgeist here, and it's Anunnaki related. Man, supposedly North Carolina, Georgia had their televisions interrupted with a message from the Anunnaki saying they were coming to help us. That would be cool, but I don't know if it's true. And yes, remember, this is all just for fun, entertainment purposes, sprinkles of satire and all that good stuff. But man, back in the beginning of June, the first Anunnaki information we got was a military base in Detroit that supposedly had their phones taken over and had messages from the Anunnaki, and they couldn't use their phones, and it happened for 3 minutes. I have some clips of that. I'm going to show that one. And then also clips about the Pentagon releasing information about everything from motherships coming and the Anunnaki and all this kind of stuff. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying I'm here to debunk it, just for fun. Let me throw the first one up. It's the Detroit taking over the phones on the military base. I think it's weird. Why just a military base? Is this some hustle from the higher ups? Is this a distraction? Is this to make us believe something? Man, some people believe that the Anunnaki are the demons, like all the aliens and drones and the thing that they showed in the Miami shopping mall a year or two ago, whenever that was. What do they call them? Interdimensional beings. Supposedly demons. Some people believe that. Man, I don't know. I just can't believe. I can't believe that this is everywhere. You're going to see some local news and some national news, people talking about this. And yet, I go to the grocery store, I talk to people randomly throughout the day. No one's talking about this. And we are living in a time in 2025 when the military, the news, we're talking about aliens. We're talking about Anunnaki, ancient biblical, that's all I'm saying. It's crazy. And that's why I'm bringing this to you, because it's got me captivated and I just don't know. So if you got some thoughts, put in the comments. Yeah, and if you want to stay connected to this craziness that I follow, subscribe. You know what I mean? Put a little something in the comments. Hit a thumb up. Hit the bell if you want to know when I drop some of this craziness. All right, let me go ahead and split this screen up. Let's go to this first one.
An entire military base had their phones taken over for about 2 minutes, saying, "This is the Anunnaki, we are here." Oh, yeah, you heard that right. Also, this is just for entertainment purposes only. TikTok. There were reports of an entire military base. They were all doing their own thing, and all of a sudden, all their phones, bam, at the same time, with a message on it. Phones were frozen. They couldn't use them. What? Okay. What? I'm not really sure what this means, but I guess the Anunnaki are here? Okay. They're here to try to get Earth back to a good state. Because, yeah, right now it's a little rough. Okay. Now, was this the Anunnaki or not? We're not 100% sure, but it could have been some sort of a hack situation. Let's just hope that this wasn't some sort of a hack situation. Okay, then.
I mean, it could be. It could be some sort of hack to mess with us. Man. All right, let me just roll the next one. Let me just get this ball rolling because I'm running out of time. Let's go.
There's a theory spreading fast that the ancient gods known as the Anunnaki are returning and that the Pentagon already knows. It sounds like science fiction, but where did this actually start? Okay, and if you're not familiar with the Anunnaki, they were ancient gods in Sumerian mythology. But in modern, mostly conspiracy circles, they've been reimagined as ancient alien visitors who supposedly came to Earth thousands of years ago. Now, here's the thing. this particular claim, it's not new. It actually traces back a number of years to a guy named Stan Dio, known for his fringe theories. In a podcast, he had said that the buzzword around the Pentagon is the Sumerian gods are returning. And that quote has been recycled ever since. And now it has just resurfaced in a new number of TikToks and podcasts like it's some fresh insider leak. But here's the problem. There's no proof. There's no names, there's no documents, no FOIA requests, anything like that. Not even a second source, just one guy with one quote and a lot of people that are running with it. And not that they would, but the Pentagon hasn't mentioned one thing about this. So is it disinformation? Is it a misread on myth? Or is it a little bit of soft disclosure that slipped through the cracks accidentally? I'm not saying it's all fake. I'm saying if it's real, we should definitely demand some better sources than recycled lore from years ago from a podcast. Because if something this big were really happening, I think there'd be a lot more we could pull from. But let me know your thoughts.
I've heard from people in the Pentagon that the buzzword in the secret of secrets in the Pentagon is the Sumerian gods are returning. And that's what they're referring to as that whole area that Peter.
Wow. Can you repeat that again, just in case anybody missed it? The buzzword
in the Pentagon, and the military circles that are in the know about the cover-up here, they kind of in whispered tones talk about the return of the Sumerian gods, and they're talking about the what we would call aliens or fallen angels returning into the Middle East, into Old Sumer area.
The Anunnaki.
Well,
crazy. Freaking crazy. Yeah, what? What are we even talking about? All right, yeah, so a lot of people think that came officially from the Pentagon, but it was from a podcast. But I have some clips, maybe a clip, about them talking about a mothership in space, and man, all right, check it out. Next.
That? Oh, an entire...
Oh, my bad. We just
There's
saw
a
that one.
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not...
This is the drone stuff that we were experiencing, on the East Coast and whatnot. But I thought it might be connected in some way. But who knows? I don't know. Do you know? Put in the comments. All right, check it out.
Not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
From the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water.
These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
They know that they can't track them. They know that they don't emit a signal. They know that they can't see them when they turn their lights out. They also indicated that they don't know where they come from. They don't know where they go to.
One family claims they followed a drone in their car, and while it hovered above them, the clock in their car changed times.
Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their homes.
It's right here over Picatinny. There was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down dead.
These are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and, like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down.
Okay, you see it? You see how it goes? See how it goes? And then it becomes a spacecraft or aircraft or whatever you want to call it.
What the fuck is that, bro? Did it just get smaller? Bro, what?
Above the ocean, and it was low, very low, but so bright and so clear, and it was huge. Like when you...
I'm concerned. I issued a letter to ask for more information, and I think there should be a lot more transparency about them.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that that doesn't make any sense.
I understand why people would be looking at this and being concerned about it. We're concerned about it too, which is why we have the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI. My goodness, looking at this, and we're taking it seriously.
These are not U.S. military drones.
Man, I just, I do research on this kind of stuff all the time, especially as of late, because I'm going to say it again. I just think it's so crazy. Like, people don't really talk about it in general conversation during the day. Like, I'll share this information with my wife, my friends, and stuff, and it just kind of doesn't go anywhere. Everyone's just like, whatever. What is that? Why is that? I don't know. And, man, it's going to be a real surprise all of a sudden if this pops off and all of a sudden we got little green men or giant Anunnaki or whatever it is. Is it even real? Who knows? Let's check out the next one. Not sure what the next one is. We'll find out together.
In 60 seconds, the new draft report on UFOs. The Pentagon's expert warned about a possible mothership coming close to Earth. Stay with us. Henry Mitchell, thanks.
That's crazy. I can't even hear that now. Can you hear that?
UFOs. The Pentagon's expert warned about a possible mothership coming close to Earth. Stay with us. Henry Mitchell, thanks. In 60 seconds, the new draft report on UFOs. The Pentagon's expert warned about a possible mothership coming close to Earth. Stay with us.
Whoa. What he's saying there, I don't know why the sound is so... I just... Man. Saying the U.S. military is, hip to the fact that there's a potential giant mothership and has the ability to release drones. Right? What? What? All right, let me get into the next one. I don't know why my volume is all jacked up on that. That's crazy. They know I'm talking about it. Now, here we go.
Long before...
This is a little summary of a bigger video that I have, and it's kind of where the Anunnaki originated from. So, sorry for my dismay and of my lack of organization on these, but I'm learning how to do this, so we'll get it. We'll get it. Here we go.
Egypt. Before Atlantis, even before humans, they came. Not as gods, but as miners. Ancient tablets from Sumer say beings called the Anunnaki descended from the stars, searching for one thing: gold. Not for power, but to save their dying world. And when mining became too hard, they created a new species to do it for them: us. Some believe this wasn't evolution, it was engineering. Follow to see what they wrote about our true origin next.
This is not a claim, it's just a theory.
Just a theory, entertainment purposes only. But look into Zecharia Sitchin if you want to find out some more about this. I mean, there's tons of people that talk about it. Let me just see. One of these videos, I think it's coming up soon. I promise.
This is the one.
Here it is.
This explains our purpose on Earth if it's true. Y'all couldn't stop asking me about it, so here you go. I can't even say it. Who are the Anunnaki? Simple terms, they're the true OG creation myth as recorded by the ancient Sumerians, who are widely regarded as the first ever civilization in history. Predating even the Egyptians, the Sumerians existed about 6,000 years ago. And in 1849, our whole understanding of ancient history was shattered when 14 tablets over 4,000 years old were uncovered in their region of Mesopotamia. Y'all ready for this one? Because these tablets pretty much explain our purpose on Earth in the most clear-cut way possible. This is the story of the Anunnaki, the Eridu Genesis. So, 445,000 years ago, yes, I said that number correctly, supposed creator gods came to Earth in search of resources. The Anunnaki, whose name can be taken to mean those from which heaven to Earth came. They came from another world called Nibiru, one that visits Earth every 3,600 years, ruled by their king Anu. Now here's the first red flag. Another planet visiting ours this infrequently is impossible, right? Not according to NASA. In fact, they've been finding evidence of this planet for years. Except they call it Planet X, or Planet 9, and many top-ranking researchers analyzed data and pretty much all but confirmed its existence. And the reason we can't see it is because its orbit looks like this. A super elongated path around the sun that only gets close to Earth every 3,600 years. And we know orbits like this are physically possible, as they've observed in other exoplanets. Anyway, story goes on to say that living conditions on Nibiru deteriorated and became hostile. So the Anunnaki came down to Earth for some goods, specifically water and gold, which apparently helps restore their planet's health. Now, it might just be a coincidence, but gold is actually used in modern spacecraft to shield from radiation, so were the Sumerians aware of that? They established a base on Earth called Eridu, made for collecting these resources in the Persian Gulf. They send down Enki, Anu's son, to lead this expedition and rule over Eridu. With him, he brought the Igigi, another race of demigods who were essentially their slaves to gather the gold and water they needed. Now, the Igigi were down bad after 250,000 years of slave labor with little rewards, so they revolted but lost, and now the Anunnaki had no workers. So Anu orders Enki to create a new slave race, intelligent yet obedient. Enki combines his essence with a species of cave-dwelling savages that exist on Earth at this time. That would be Homo erectus, our prehistoric ancestors. And through this process, he created humans, us, Homo sapiens. Now, this combining of essence is taken to be interpreted as genetic engineering. Sounds absolutely ridiculous, I know, but y'all remember Bob Lazar? The whistleblower on all that UFO, space tech, and aliens, which literally all turned out to be true? Just listen to what he had to say about certain classified documents regarding genetic engineering.
There is an extremely classified document dealing with religion and it's about that tech, saying basically that
basically, we're a product of genetic engineering from someone.
Yeah. How can you just swallow that whole?
I don't know about you, but he clearly seemed genuinely uncomfortable talking about this, and I can't think of any reason he'd have to lie about it. So in the tablets, they called this new species the first men, translated to Adamu. Now in Hebrew, Adam translates to man, so Adamu was taken to mean men of Adam. Does that name sound familiar to you? Reminder that these tablets were dated to around 2400 BC, a whole 1,000 years before the book of Genesis was first said to be written. These new genetic hybrid humans started working the mines in place of the original Igigi, which in return for their work were educated with the gift of civilization. Language, agriculture, governing, housing, technology, medicine. Some Anunnaki got a little close with the humans and bred with them. Yes, that's exactly what you think it means, and gave birth to giants, even though they were specifically instructed to not procreate with them. At this point, there's a new leader in charge, Enlil, who was Enki's brother, and he wasn't having any of this debauchery. But no biggie, because he had a population control plan in place. A cataclysmic event that wipes humanity from the Earth, said to be caused by Nibiru's gravitational effect on Earth, aka the Great Flood. How convenient. Enlil took this opportunity to dip back to Nibiru so that Earth can be rid of all these unworthy inhabitants. The translations claim that Enlil and his crew left in their celestial boats that took them to the sky and circled Earth. Hey, that sounds like spaceships, rockets, and orbits to me. But Enki felt more sympathy, so he instructed some chosen humans to build boats so they can survive the flood. Noah's Ark, anyone? The flooding lasted for 7 days, yet another creation story told by almost every other culture of our past. There is countless proof of this intense flooding all around the world, but that's a rabbit hole for another time. The small number of humans that survived the flood started to rebuild civilization. Enki and other Anunnaki helped them rebuild in all corners of the Earth, which is said to have given rise to the pyramids, megaliths, and advanced masonry techniques that we see all over the world. And eventually they left Earth and they had one civilization that was more advanced than the rest. This were the Sumerians. This exact story is even told in the Atrahasis of the Akkadians and the Enuma Elish from the Babylonians. Now this is where it gets trippy. The Anunnaki appointed kings, humans that acted as their representatives on Earth to make sure that the people still lived under their control, whose ruling authority would be passed down every generation in what would become the elite class as we know today. You know, Rothschilds, Illuminati, royal family, Freemasons, whatever you want to call it. And it's how they continued to rule Earth for thousands of years to this day from a planet far ass away. Basically, the story claims that we're a genetically engineered species that were designed as slaves to serve a ruling class. And we really do see this slave master paradigm all throughout history. Up until the last couple hundred years, the entire world population was divided into a peasant class and an upper class of royals, nobles, the rulers, kings, emperors, shoguns, and the plebs they rule over. But today, things are different. Or are they? Did the peasant class just become the modern day working class, and the ruling class now work behind the scenes in an attempt to give us the illusion of freedom?
Crazy. All right, y'all. Do that research yourself. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's legit, but it is crazy how those things kind of line up. Man, there's a belief system out there that, like, if you know anything about the Bible, you know, supposedly the Anunnaki represent what would be Jesus and his father, known as Jehovah, like Enki and Enlil. I'm not sure how it all unfolds, but there's a whole thing. Yeah, if it interests you, get in there. Get in there. Take your day. Find out. You know what I mean? And if not, just entertainment. Just for fun. You know. All right, next.
All right, what's the deal with all these videos popping up claiming that allegedly in parts of Georgia and South Carolina, people had their TV broadcasts interrupted for about 3 minutes? This happened just in the last couple of days. And during that time, a message supposedly from the Anunnaki aired, acknowledging the current chaos among humans, warning of severe weather events coming, and then saying that they were going to help. And then, right after that, people in these same areas reported seeing fireballs streaking across the sky, like multiple reports. So yes, this sounds completely crazy, and I am skeptical, but I'm also open-minded enough to ask. There actually was a TV broadcast interruption in southern England in 1977 where a group claimed to be Ashtar Galactic Command, and they talked about human awakening. So I'm being open-minded. Was it something like that? Has anyone seen this alleged Anunnaki broadcast firsthand? Do you have video of it or know someone who does? Drop any links, videos, or stories in the comments. I'm actually very curious.
I love this guy's TikTok channel too, the Hallucination Hippies. It's clever. Check it out. Okay, but what if? Once again, entertainment. I'm just talking. I don't believe this. If you do your research on the Freedom of Information Act, you can find this out. There is a 3-letter organization that has a project. I can't say it directly. I'll just say Project B Dream. Okay? That's not what it is, but it's close enough. Look into it if you feel like it. What if they are familiar with this supposed Anunnaki past and creating us to mine the gold because their slave labor didn't want to do it anymore, so they evolved us, you know. But what if the powers that be for that Project Blue Dream, that's what I'll call it, Blue Dream, you know, and so they're creating everything that we're seeing, because if there's some higher power alien species being that help, you know, make us, why would they need to do it through the TVs or through the cell phones or any of that? Why? Couldn't they just tell us in our minds and we all get the same message? I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know. Weird though. Strange. Why would they need to use our technology to, I don't know, maybe they'd have to make us understand. I don't know. Just some food for thought. All right, next.
This shit is about to blow your mind. So the Pentagon is saying that in the next couple of years, the Anunnaki will be paying us a visit. So basically, they're saying that the Anunnaki should be returning back to Earth in the next couple of years on a UFO. And they're also saying that this might happen in the Middle East. Now, you got to think about all of the UFO sightings as of recent. Apparently, these people know more than they've been telling us. Apparently, these high-up officials in the military, in the Pentagon, have known about this already, had information on this, and now they're just deciding to tell us because shit is about to hit the fan. What I always say is this: when they're alerting us about something, when they're trying to tell us something, it's either happened already or shit is really about to get out of hand. Or they're telling us that so we can look this way instead of looking this way. And for whatever reason, they're telling us this, something is going to happen.
Something.
People are also saying that the Anunnaki are not coming back. People were saying that those things that we think that are in UFOs are demons. And honestly and truly, that could be the truth. You have the Pope passing away this year. They elect another Pope. You got so many different things going on this year, from plane crashes to UFO sightings, etc., etc., etc. All I can say is this: something is happening. Whether it be the Anunnaki or whether it be, you know what? That's another time for another video. I'm out. This shit is about to...
Crazy, man. I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me check something real quick. I find this all very strange, y'all. Very, very strange. That's all I'm saying. I think we watched that one already. Well, maybe we did. All right. I feel as though that might be enough. I do have this one other clip. It's an edited version of one we watched already, but it has a clip of what was broadcast on the televisions there in Georgia, North Carolina area. Supposedly. Like, I don't know. Let's see.
All right, what's the deal with all these videos popping up claiming that allegedly...
So that little bit right there in the beginning, that thing right there is supposedly what came through the television, and people were able to see this crazy, it almost looks like an angelic, multi-winged, which would be known as a cherubim or one of those. I don't know. Crazy. But that's the audio that you hear is another.
All right, what's the deal with all these videos popping up claiming that allegedly in parts of Georgia and South Carolina, people had their TV broadcasts interrupted for about 3 minutes? This happened just in the last couple of days. And during that time, a message supposedly from the Anunnaki aired, acknowledging the current chaos among humans, warning of severe weather events coming, and then saying that they were going to help. And then, right after that, people in these same areas reported seeing fireballs streaking across the sky, like multiple reports. So, yes, this sounds completely crazy, and I am skeptical, but I'm also open-minded enough to ask. There actually was a TV broadcast interruption in southern England in 1977 where a group claimed to be Ashtar Galactic Command, and they talked about human awakening.
But that's one of that right there that you see. Supposedly, that's what people saw on their television. I don't know if a higher intelligent species would do it like this. Or would they do it like this because we're not smart enough that if we heard their message in our heads, we all thought we were going crazy? I don't know. And supposedly, there's some military tech that they can do that anyway. So, man, I don't know. Form your own opinion and good luck. Okay? Yeah, I think that's where we're going to draw it. I've got to figure out how to do a thumbnail on this thing again. It's been so long since I've done one. Yeah. Thank you for coming by and checking it out, though, everybody. Remember, take your day. Dick's going to take his in every way. Man, I'm going to bring some more of these to us in the future. Maybe there'll be some more insight onto what's really going on. Maybe not. Maybe this will just disappear like all the other information that we get that's so random and crazy, and then we just don't talk about it again because some other big news thing pops up, and then... Like, who's still talking about the drones? Does anybody talk about the big Miami, 10-foot tall, see-through creatures, and there was hundreds of police officers that responded? Nah, no one's even, I'm trying to bring it up again, though. What are we doing? All right, y'all, I'm going to dip out. Dick gonna dip. I will see y'all on the flip. I'm going to try to do another one of these tomorrow. I don't know what the subject's going to be about. It might just be a bunch of random fun stuff to invoke thought and form your own opinion. I love you. I'll see you on the flip side. Take your day, and remember, spread your love, share your knowledge, and all will be good. See you on the flip. Much love.